There we go.
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Well, thank you for doing this.
Thank you for having me.
Now, for someone that does not know your music, maybe we should start by you just saying a little bit about yourself and your music.
Sure. Well, the project I'm playing under currently is called Jasmine Trails, formerly Trails. I've been playing in the Ottawa area for about 11 years now, shockingly, and started very young and was able to travel around Canada and a little bit in Europe and tour and play with some really amazing musicians. And um, yeah, I would say my music is on the dreamier side and explores a lot of themes around the like mystical nature of life and sort of my experience with life spiritually, and I sort of translate that into my lyrics and my sound. And yeah, I really enjoy writing lyrics and creating little impulsive worlds around the lyrics that sort of sit within me for some time before I kind of create the little world for it to live in. But yeah, I love making music. I would like to do it for my entire life, so it's been a real pleasure to be able to do so much with it so far in my life and so young.
And last year you released a collection, Eno and I Down the Healing Path.
Yeah, that was sort of a quirky little thing where I guess lately I've been doing a lot more home recording just because it's more financially feasible. I've also been working on a record with Jonas Spinetta up at Port William Sound, with a bandmate of mine. So I have done a little bit of studio work that I want to put out, but I've been doing some home recordings, and then they just collect, and then I think, well, they shouldn't just be sitting on my
Hmm.
computer, so I should put them out. And that's what that was. Very impulsive and messy, but just expression nonetheless. So
You mentioned the studio. You also do a lot of recording at home in the bedroom, and
yes.
it
Yeah.
has uh, it has a special sound.
Thank you. Yeah, I would love to get better at it, but I'm happy with where it is for now, just to be able to get my ideas down and to just kind of be able to play with it a little bit. And yeah,
Good. Should we start talking about some of your album choices?
absolutely.
They're quite quite interesting.
Thank you. I'm a bit of a music fanatic,
Yeah,
so I wasn't able to choose just one for a lot of
no,
the.
yeah. So we cheated a bit, and
Yeah,
so
yeah,
your go-to albums. There's two of
yeah.
them. Do you want to talk about the first one, Before and
Sure.
After Science by Brian Eno?
Yes. I don't even know what to say about it. I mean, I think it's a perfect album front to back. It puts me in such a strange world every time I listen to it, and I think that's what I like about it. It's kind of off-putting and goes all over the map, but also stays in a really like kind of liminal, strange but very soothing world. I feel like Brian Eno is really great for that, and yeah, it's been a favorite of mine for a long time.
It does go all over the place, doesn't it? There's
Yeah,
I forget the name of the song, but there's one that could easily have been a Roxy Music song,
yeah,
and
definitely.
but then he does go into more of his ambient leaning sounds,
Yeah,
and yeah,
it's a journey.
hmm it
Yeah,
is
yeah,
good. And your other choice was the Blue Nile Hats.
yes.
Tell me about that.
I mean, just a perfect band. Scottish band that I was introduced to, I think when I was like 19 or 20. And Specifically the song "The Downtown Lights." I just remember just feeling sort of a yearning from it, an energy from it that I'd never felt from music before, and it really remained like such an important and really influential album and just band for me in general.
Yeah, they did well with that album too, didn't they?
Oh
It
yeah, yeah.
was
Such a
quite
cool
pop.
band. And not enough people know about them really.
Yeah, I
I
think you're right.
yeah, they should be more legendary than they are, but they definitely are. So that's
So we should check out that album.
yeah, definitely.
No, Sunday Morning album.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the Sunday morning concept is like my feel when it comes to listening to music. And I kind of take it as something very like sacred. That morning music in general should be very sacred. So, yeah, the first one I chose is "Blessing" by Joy Yu Hoffman. She's um, a classical harp and Chinese harp player, and the album is stunning. It kind of is a journey too. It gets a little intense at times, but is also just incredibly serene and yeah, just a gorgeous, mostly instrumental album.
Yeah, it does have yeah, has an interesting sound to it.
Yeah, totally. It's like a good sort of stretching
Yeah,
album in the morning and the rising sun and yeah,
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 that's right.
yeah.
And your second choice.
So my second one is, I think, my number one album of all time. Taria Sings by Alice Coltrane. I mean, she can do no wrong in general, but that album in particular is just so magical. And I think what I like about it is that it was made to be just for her spiritual centers
Mm.
students on sort of a privately released cassette. But then I guess maybe it was loved so much that they decided to do more with it. It's all sung in Sanskrit, and you can really feel her spirituality, her divinity in it. It's just one of the most beautiful albums ever. I actually have two copies on vinyl because I care about it so much that I needed a backup. So, yeah.
It's very calming when you hear it.
Yes. Yeah. It's good for meditating.
And it's so if someone knows Alice Coltrane, it's not what you would expect.
Totally. Yeah. Yeah. But I think that's what I like about it because I
Mm.
like really calm, earthy music. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's a good choice.
Thank you.
Now, the first album you bought.
Well, yeah, that was a long time ago. That question was more so the idea of like on vinyl.
Mm.
Um, I bought two at the same time, and yeah, it was "Are You Experienced?" Jimi Hendrix, of course, and then the other one was a funny story. I got kind of scammed in a sense. It was a very poorly recorded live Nirvana bootleg, and the guy said, "You gotta have this. There's only 10 in the world." And I think I know why there's only 10 in the world because it sounds awful. And I spent like $70 on it, and it was just like smashing bottles and feed microphone feedback. I didn't listen to it very often, but I don't know where it is at this point. But yeah, but you know what? It had the energy of the concert in it, so
Mm.
that's all you can ask for, I guess.
So when you went to buy your first vinyl, did you have Jimi Hendrix in mind?
I honestly I can't remember. I was definitely a big Jimi Hendrix fan. This was probably when I was like 13 or 12 or 13, and I was obsessed with Jimi Hendrix. And so I'm sure I saw it. I was also very drawn to the album cover as well because
Mm.
I really liked all the, psychedelic imagery. But I can't really remember if I was going there with that in mind or if I just saw it and I had to have it. So, yeah,
Good.
yeah.
Now, an album that stands the test of time. Again, we have two.
Yeah, so Dreaming of Alice by Mark Fry, 1972 sort of acid folk album. Really dreamy and dissonant and just but beautiful folk with such a very like psychedelic energy to it. I've been listening to that album since high school, and I think it's underappreciated. It's really like quite a legendary album to me. And then the other one I chose, similar in nature, Parallelograms by Linda Perhacs, 1970s. Um, Again, incredibly dreamy, feels like you can just like float away in it. And I'm pretty sure that album, what it didn't really get big until she was a lot older, and she ended up going on a tour when she was in like her 70s or something,
Mm.
and it kind of blew up as like a cult classic. And that's always kind of been my dream for my career, is to be like have my music discovered once I'm a lot older, and then I can go on some funny world tour or something. So it's kind of inspirational to me in a funny way, but a beautiful album. I recommend it to everyone.
What's interesting about the Mark Fry is that the title song, Dreaming with Alice,
Yeah.
it's it's played throughout the album, but in like 30-second chunks.
Yeah, it's very strange. It's I like the way it's kind of like the theme of the
Mm.
album, like in a movie, and you kind of get pulled away from that one song, but then you land back in a familiar place, which I think kind of I don't know, there's something very I don't know what the word to describe that would be, but it's a journey the way it kind of takes you away and then pulls you back to
Mm.
sort of a grounding place. So
Yeah.
really cool, really like interesting way of making an album.
And then the other one, Linda, she, from what I read, she had no songwriting training at all, and which I can't understand because if you
Yeah, I
listen
mean
to the
maybe
album,
something was channeling through her because
yeah,
that's pretty shocking. Yeah, that's she was made to do that obviously. It's wild.
yeah, very
Yeah.
good. Now the last album you bought.
Yeah. I feel like maybe there's a chance that I bought something since, but these were sort of the last albums I brought home from my job at the record center in Ottawa. And, these are the kind of albums that once they were in the shop for me to buy, I was like shaking and sweating. I was so excited. So I felt like those were worth mentioning. But yeah, so the first one is Voices, Roger Eno, Brian Eno's brother.
Mhm.
Um, a crazy album, like one of my all-time favorite albums, very dreamy and off-putting, like very otherworldly to me, and underrated again in my opinion. He just has a way with composition that's just like so haunting, but also really soothing. So I love that album, and I got like a first pressing
Oh,
Japanese edition, and I remember in the record store, some people were kind of like giving me a weird look about the way I was reacting because it like came in a box from Japan, and then I sort of held it up, and then the everyone was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, fair. Like your reaction is fair for this," and that
yeah.
was kind of funny. But the other one is "Floating into the Night," Julie Cruz, who I think is sort of my main musical influence. I wouldn't say that I have a lot of big influences for my music, but Julie Cruz is an artist who I heard for the first time and I thought, whoa, I want to be in that sonic world for as long as possible. It's like just perfect, perfect music, genuinely. Um, yeah, she's an inspiration.
And both those albums, they have a similar sound to them.
Yeah, yeah. That's I think it's kind of the sound that I like, where it's like very dreamy, but also kind of like, ooh, where are we? Like very Lynchian, David Lynch,
Mm.
which Julie Cruz worked a lot with him, and a lot of the songs on that album were included in Twin Peaks, and
Mm.
just this off-putting but beautiful sound. It's definitely something that I'm very into. So, yeah.
Yeah. Now, finally, an album that more people should hear.
Yeah. So for that one, I chose an album called Marginalia 3. Um, he's a Japanese composer, I believe, named Masakatsu Tagaki. And he puts out music so frequently. I think he just sits at home and plays his piano. It's very like atmospheric piano music, maybe a bit cinematic. It has like sort of soundscape stuff. There's birds, there's thunder, there's singing, but then just these really moving, soothing piano songs that just every time I've played it for someone, it's one of those albums where people are like, "What is this?
Mm.
Can I write this down?" Because it's just I find it very one of a kind, and I love to just like put it on in the background. It's good
Mm.
for everything, you know. Very special, and all of his other stuff is special too. Like he's just so full of music. It's really cool.
Yeah, on his Bandcamp page, there's so many releases.
Just scrolling and scrolling,
Yeah,
which is such a gift. Honestly, it's
yeah,
amazing.
that's true.
Yeah,
Very
yeah.
true. Well, good. Well, thank you. Yeah. So what's ahead for you? Do you have any plans?
I mean, I feel like I kind of didn't play a lot of shows for a while. So now I'm trying to kind of just get back into the cycle of playing, and um I think I started to kind of feel like a bit alienated from the current music scene because I was really focused on music prior to the pandemic and stuff. Not that it's not going on anymore, but anyways, and I kind of felt like I lost my flow a little bit with that and was just doing a lot of recording at home. So I'm really trying to kind of to just get back into the flow of sharing music and connecting with artists that are playing right now. And I'd love to finish and release the studio album I was working on. And I have about 3 albums worth of home recordings, so whether I bring those to a studio or I just tune them up and put them out. And I'd also love to get a band together again because it's been a long time since I've played with a full band, and I really had fun with that. So there's lots in the works, but it's just getting that flow and finding the right people and all
Mm.
of that. But yeah, there's definitely lots of lifelong plans for creativity.
Good. We'll look forward to that.
Me too.
Whatever it is. Yeah, great. Okay. Well, Ellie, thank you very much for doing this.
Thanks for having me.